Hello and welcome. Just a little mic check there. I'm glad you are here today. Let's see what we got on the agenda. So, we have our heroes just entered the little standalone tower, and we have the dwarf Balal that had them enter for safety for the night. Now, we know that we ended on an unsafe note. Our heroes are not safe in the tower, and they do not know it just yet. So we'll have to see what happens there. Now, for world building, let's just take a quick moment, take a look at what we got here. We do have two new players, or two new characters. Let's go ahead and look at Astrid here for a minute. Her background is the Thieves Guild. She is a priest, lawful priest. Let's go ahead and make her a deity. We can either go the same as Dendor, or we can go somewhat different and introduce a new deity. I'm kind of inclined to just do Madeira. Let's see, should we do Madeira? Let's go ahead and roll on that and we'll find out. So, is Astrid's deity Madeira? We got a 6 no, so we're going to go with Saint Taragnus then. Because Astrid is lawful, we'll go ahead and write in Saint Taragnus. And if we pop over here, let's see, deities, page 28. We're getting a little bit better at navigating the book, which is great for when we play this with a group. Saint Taragnus is lawful, a legendary knight who is the patron of most lawful humans, ascended to godhood long ago, and is the embodiment of righteousness and justice. So, Saint Taragnus is a great option for Astrid. Now, that was pretty simple. Marina. Well, maybe we'll just start with, for now, we'll start with the game proper, and we'll see. So we did our little world building. Once again, we're just taking bite-sized world building, and we're just seeing what we build along the way. We're not interested in developing this big, massive world all at once. We're just doing bite-sized chunks, and we'll see what happens. But we have this Balal character. Let's go ahead and take a prompt. Let's see why this place is not safe. So we're going to do a couple of depercentile rolls. 30. Capture. Please say food. That would be funny. Capture disgust. Interesting. Capture disgust. Let me know what you guys think in chat, what that might be, what you think it should be. I am going to lean... Gosh, I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure on that. Capture disgust. Let's go ahead and write that down. Let's see. Small tower. Capture disgust. Alright, so Balal has our group enter, and he already has a fire going, and the tower looks pretty, fairly clean, I would say. As our heroes enter, Sidaros will ask Balal, what were the goblins after? What did they want exactly? And Balal will respond, I can't say for certain. I was just out here in my tower, and they attacked me. Now the question is that a lie? 11. It is a lie, but... So what is the but? So I'm going to say that they did attack Balal, but it wasn't for no apparent reason. There was something that he did. Was it something to do with capturing them? Did he capture goblins? 1. Very no. It was not capturing goblins. So he did something else. Maybe he intruded on a safe space. Maybe he intruded on like a holy area or something for the goblins. And I'm just pulling things out of the air. We're going to take, just a yes, no. We don't want to do too many of these to try to nail down something. We just want something that will give us something to work with. That's all we're interested in. So, our party, do they detect the lie? All of them have Astrid has pretty good wisdom. So does Astrid detect the lie? Let's find out. We'll make this a hard difficulty. We could do an opposed check, but I don't really know much about Balal, and I'm not interested in rolling stats for him. So we're going to make this a DC, a difficulty class of maybe 15, hard. And my assumption is that Balal is friendly, cautious, but perhaps up to no good in his small tower out here. And let's find out. 3. So our friend Astrid does not pick up on the lie. So our party just continues on doing their thing. Now, I just had to grab my luck tokens because I'm sure those will be important here in a little bit. Just got a feeling. All right. So, lie but not detected. So what does that mean? All right, Balal asks them, what are you doing out and about in this region of the land? And our allies will look at each other. Do they want to be honest, or do they want to fib a little bit? I don't think that there's anything wrong with being honest in this particular situation. So we will go ahead and say that they will tell the truth. And what they do is they will, Sidaros, since, well, actually Astrid is now, nope, Sidaros is still the most charismatic. Sidaros will say, our benefactor in the city of Rularn, he has requested that we map the area. And so that's what we're doing. We're just trying to map out in these kind of circles, and we're interested in learning more about the region. Now, does Balal know about the region? Yes. I'm going to say that he knows about the area around his tower. And we will say, what do we think? Balal will say, oh yes, I'm aware of the region. I've been here for a little while. Show me your map and we can discuss a little. And is Balal actually interested in the map, or is he lulling them into a false sense of security? So is Balal lulling them into a false sense of security? 8. No, he is actually interested in the mapping, which is interesting. So Balal will look at it. And is Balal aware of Rularn? Does he know that Rularn exists? We got a twist. Interesting. 1 second. I will be right back. Just had to take care of a cat real quick. Alright, so we got a twist on that roll. Let's see, what was that? It was, is Balal aware of Rularn? Let's roll the prompt. See how this goes. 83. Ascend. Fear. Interesting. Ascend fear. So we're going to put that in our notes because that will be important later. Balal is aware of Rularn and ascend fear. So he has some negative ideas about what to do with Rularn. Maybe he's aware of the history of Rularn because it's empty. Maybe he's the cause of Rularn's emptiness. We're not sure. But he evaluates our heroes. And he'll go ahead and point out a couple of regions. Because they helped him out, he's going to help them out. Let's find out how many regions he will help them out with. We'll go ahead with a d6 minus 1. This is totally random by me. I just want to see what, I basically just need to generate a random number, and we're going to go with that, d6 minus 1, and we'll see what we get. He's going to give them 2 of these. I believe our overland hex is 132. Getting better, folks. Getting better. All right. So the next one over, we need to roll 2d6. 5, 6, 7. Same as current terrain. So this is going to be woods. And then let's go over one more. 8. Same as current terrain, so these woods extend quite the distance. Let's find out the danger level. This one is unsafe and unsafe. So let's go ahead and push these. All right, 1 second. Sorry about the double pause there. Owning cats is very much like owning 2 hobbits that are very interested in second breakfast all the time. All right. So we got 2 forests. Both are unsafe. So we got G7. We're just going to make a note of these. Forest unsafe. And we got H. 6. Forest and unsafe. Just taking notes. Let's see if there's any points of interest. And we're gonna do our double d6 and see for each one. Just because 1 and 6 doesn't seem super likely. So we got 1 in the G7. Whoops, I totally missed that. And we have 1 in H6. Or G7 and H6. Interesting. Alright, let's find out. We got a fortified keep, a small tower, and a fortified keep. Interesting. What are you up to, fortified keep? And a 12? A ravine. I wonder if there's anything in the bottom of that ravine. Let's go ahead and we'll roll the development maybe a little bit later. I don't want to get too caught up on that. So our allies are talking to Balal, and Balal says, oh, right, yes. In these next areas, you'll have a ravine, and we'll do like just a little lightning bolt for a ravine. And then we have this fortified keep, which I'm just going to mark with a square. Fortified keep in that hex. And our friends will ask, is the fortified keep occupied? Is it occupied? It is not occupied. Interesting. Or is that the lie? We'll just make a note, unoccupied. That could be a lie from Balal. Not totally sure yet. We'll just kind of leave it and see what happens. So we got these 2 hexes. Both are unsafe. Our heroes consider it for a minute, and then they say, "So what are you up to out here, or what are you doing out here? Are you from Rularn?" So that's the first question. Are you from Rularn? Oh, that's a sideways die. Natural 20. Very yes. Very yes, our friend, or not friend, Balal is from Rularn. And the very yes is perhaps from long ago, because dwarves can live quite a while, right? So, Balal is from Rularn. Long ago. And I'll just put like a little notation, very yes, because our very yeses are great for driving home points and things like that. So this is important for our overall story. And will Balal, or what is Balal up to out here? He's up to capture disgust. So he's trying to get something, and maybe it's cause for disgust. So maybe he's trying to gain some power over something. Now, is he going to be honest? I don't think so. He'll just say, oh, the only reason I'm out here is I prefer my peace, and I'm a bit of a historian, and I'm a historian and a naturalist, so I'm interested in the area around. I found this tower and built it back up, and now I'm kind of exploring the region to see what we can find. And our party nods along with that. They find that acceptable. And everybody, I think, is just going to go ahead and sleep. I think that's enough for the night. They've all eaten. So our party goes ahead and they sleep. Will anything happen during the night? I'm kind of thinking a no. I think Balal is probably dangerous to the people, like the denizens in the area. We got an 8, a no. So what does that mean exactly? our party goes ahead and sleeps through the night. And they get up for the next day. Balal, I think, will let them go. He invites them to return sometime. He's a very gracious host, maybe a little bit awkward. But for now, our party's interaction is such that he looked at them and decided, you know, I might be able to use these people later in some of my things, so I'm going to go ahead and let them go, and our party will head out. Now, they know about the fortified keep, they know about the ravine, they know all the areas are unsafe. So what is G8? G8 is safe grasslands, so they're going to travel to the safe grasslands, I think. And H7 is unsafe. Oh, sorry, that's F7. H7 is unsafe grasslands, but it's better than going across 2 unsafe areas to try to get to this guy. So they're going to go safe and unsafe. And F7 is also unsafe. So once every 3 hours, they go ahead and leave the first hex, enter the second hex, and we'll kind of carry over the hour because it takes an hour to go, or 2 hours to go from the center of one hex to the side of the next, essentially. So into their first hour in the unsafe grasslands. Is there an encounter? No, there is not. So our heroes will continue through the grasslands. They'll have to roll 1 more encounter, and they will sleep in the grasslands. So 1 more encounter, no encounter, and they will go ahead and camp in that grasslands. And they'll have to remove a ration. -1 ration each. And then during the night, it's 8 hours. We need to first find if they can get firewood. So we'll go ahead and do a wisdom check of DC 12, I think. Natural 20, which is fantastic. We get a luck token. I'm just going to put this guy over here to represent that luck token. And they get a campfire. So during rest at night, it's 8 hours. So 3, 6, that's going to be 2 of our 2 checks to see if there's an encounter. No encounter in the night. No encounter in the night. And they go ahead and they move into the next hex. So we need this guy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Current terrain plus 2 steps. Grassland. Puts it into river and coast. So there's a river in here somewhere. And we will see where it goes. I'm going to say river. I don't really want to do coast. I guess we could do coast, but it would kind of draw this way, essentially. Let's go ahead and do river. I find it more interesting. And we will do, because we know the river doesn't extend anywhere else, we'll say that the river, it can come from 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. So we'll do a D4. So 1, 2, it comes from here and exits here, which is an interesting river. So we have a little river. I guess it technically couldn't come from here, couldn't it? Because that's ravine, not river. So we'll go 1 or 2. Odd, even. So instead of going that way, our river will go this way. There we go. So there's a high likelihood that this is a river, basically. As for helpful terrain, we're just going to call it grasslands, I think, like for the rest of the terrain. I think that's probably most useful. So our party will travel through, oh, what's the danger level? 1 is totally safe. I7 is safe river. Which is great. Is there a point of interest? There's not a point of interest. So our party will go ahead and cross it, and they want to come down here. So let's see what we got. 4, which is same as current terrain. So we'll go ahead and also have our river here. So we're going to say that this comes down and comes through here. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. So the river kind of comes down through and exits here. Now the rules for river is a little bit difficult. Not difficult, but they don't really exist. I'm going to make this forest. Continuing the river and deciding where it leaves and whatnot, that's on me. I'm just trying to figure out how this river works. So by default, this one's probably a river, or we can ignore it and this just kind of comes through here. But as for strict rules on how to decide if a river continues, there's really nothing in the book about it here. We're just kind of making it up to see what we come up with. For this place is risky. So J7 is risky. Which is fine. We're going to go ahead and move this to risky. And it'll take us 4 hours to cross the riskiness, so we'll roll twice to see if there's an encounter. There's an encounter on our way out. Now, we decided it was forest and river, majority river. River and coast does have its own table. Let's go ahead and roll. A 97, which doesn't... Oh, a wandering merchant walks in the shallows on stilts. Alright, so this wandering merchant can be found... Alright, so this wandering merchant's going through the area, and our heroes will go ahead and buy some additional rations from him. And he seems friendly enough, so we're just going to go ahead and go with it. So this wandering merchant, we'll just say he has a couple of random things on him. Our party doesn't have a ton of gold. Do we have enough to upgrade somebody to chainmail, though? Which would be cool. Let's see, we have 40, 57. We do not have enough to upgrade anybody to chainmail, unfortunately. So our heroes will just go ahead and thank the wandering merchant, buy some food and water from him, and they will continue on their journey. And let's see here, that was 1, 2, 1, 2. So they're going to have to rest here. Let's see if they can find firewood. They do find firewood, so they don't need to cross off any extra torches, and they will cross off a ration each. And this area is risky, so for 8 hours, that's 4 checks for a random encounter. So, first one, no. Second one, no. Third one, yes. Fourth one, no. All right, so random encounter as they're sleeping in the night. A 78. 2d4 sting bats buzz along the surface of the water. 2d4 is a lot, I feel like. Well, that's a 1 and a 1, so 2 sting bats buzz along the river. Our party, it's in the middle of the night. We'll say that Marina's doing the watch as they're camping. They have their fire lit, and she watches in the moonlight as these sting bats buzz along the water looking for something. Let's see what they're up to. We'll roll 2d6 for activity. We got an 8, so they're building and nesting. So she watches as they're trying to construct a nest. 1 second. More cat shenanigans. The cats are very active this morning. Okay, so the question is, do the sting bats attack? Do they attack? No, but... So maybe they don't attack the party, but maybe they attack something on the other side of the river. And Marina watches. She's on standby to maybe wake the party, but during her watch, she just lets the sting bats do their thing. And she just watches as the sting bats attack something on the other side of the river that gives kind of this unnatural screeching sound. All right, the next day, our party continues on. Let's see here. So, just going to look up something real fast. All right, just had to look up a rule real quick. Let's go ahead and find out what this next hex is as our party continues. A 4. 132. Overland hex. A 4 is same as current terrain, so they're just following this river as it continues. All right, so this river continues straight, so this is J8. J8 is more river. Let's see how dangerous this one is. A 4. Okay, and that is risky continued. All right, and it'll take 4 hours to cross, so that's 2, 4. Hello, Jordy. We got a cat tax. You got tired of me chasing them around the house, apparently. Good job, buddy. Let's go ahead and continue your travels that direction. There we go. Good boy. Get down, buddy. Get down. Not a boy. He's a good boy. All right. Now that we got the cat tax out of the way, it's a risky river. Once for 2 rounds, we have to roll for an encounter. It takes 4 hours to go across, so we'll roll twice. No encounter and an encounter. Our guys are very unlucky at this point. Let's go ahead and roll a D percentile. A 77. An unlit lighthouse stands on a narrow, sandy island. Interesting. An unlit lighthouse. What does it mean? I do not know. I don't even know how old unlit lighthouse. I don't know how old the lighthouse is as a concept. So we're just going to go ahead and do like a little tower image, and it will have just kind of this little thing coming out of it. And we will continue the forest, I think, at this point. Call that good. And our heroes will kind of continue on. I don't think they'll check out the lighthouse. They're interested. I think they'll mark it on their map, but they've been out here for a couple of days. I think they want to get around this and go ahead and get back back to the town, I think. So they just want to finish their quest. So we'll go here. A 9 is current terrain +2, so river, 1, 2. That makes this mountains. Mountains, Gandalf. So this river maybe goes off to one side or something. And we have mountains here. Let's find out how risky it is. It's a 6. Alright, so 6 is deadly mountains in area J9. So that is every hour we have to roll. Now our heroes can either go into the desert. Well, they'll actually have to rest, I think. So either way, they're going to have to do, they have a decision to make. They can either go through the mountains or they can go into the desert. The desert in I-9 is also a deadly region. So our heroes will go ahead and enter the mountains. They'll enter the mountains. And as they do so, they go into the mountains, and the mountains are very quiet as they kind of enter the night. The air grows chill. They light a fire to make it through the night. That's going to be a lot of checks, so they're going to have to try to do something. So let's do and see if they can gather firewood. They do gather firewood, so it doesn't cost them any torches. But we have to make a couple of random encounter checks. No random encounters as they get ready for the night. And then they'll have to sleep through the night and then make it into the next day. So they light their fire, and it sputters as a low mist gathers around the edges of the camp, growing closer as the night wears on. By morning, the fog hangs thick in the air, turning the trees around you into gray ghosts. Then they notice that these aren't the same trees that surrounded them the night before. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will end it there. Thank you so much for watching. And please do all the algorithm-y stuff. Liking, subscribing, following, all that shenanigans. This ends this part of the campaign. I was going to do 8 sessions. We made it through 12. That's pretty fantastic. But as we end, it's always the start of something new. And so there will be a pause or a break of about a week and a half. I will get back to you guys in not next week, but the week after. And we'll start something new with these same characters, same notebook, but things have changed a little bit. So this is our introduction to The Curse of Strahd in Shadowdark. We will see you next time. Again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you in a week and a half. Best of luck out there. Be good to each other. We'll see you later.